And religious leaders are now cautioning the government against regulating religion in the wake of the Shakahola massacre. The leaders, appearing before the Senate ad hoc committee investigating the proliferation of religious organizations, said that the Shakahola incident should not be the excuse for the government to regulate them, but rather the blame should lie with the government for failing to act on numerous reports raised before the deaths. Brenda Wanga reports.
At the invitation of the Senate ad hoc committee, different religious groupings presented their views on the unfolding Shakahola massacre. The religious leaders, however, maintain that the larger share of the blame on the happenings in Kilifi lie with the government itself, as it failed to act on time to prevent the deaths.
The deaths of persons whose bodies are being exhumed in Shakahola forest are a direct result of the failure of the criminal judicial system to deliver on its mandate.
He was released. So there were some attempts to be able to speak to him and to encourage that he doesn't follow that path. But then that is how far we can go. The rest of it remained to be criminal. It's not now even in the Societies Act.
The leaders say the government should treat Paul Mackenzie's activities and the resultant devastating outcome as the work of a criminal element and not use the same brush to paint the entire religious sector as being made of the same cloth. The religious leaders also say Mackenzie's action should be looked at holistically.
EAK submits that it should not be generalized, this matter should not be generalized, but treated as a separate and exclusive incident, even though grievous. In response to the mandate of this esteemed select committee, EAK proposes the following: that we separate the regulation of religious bodies from the Societies Act as proposed in what we have given. Number B, that all religious institutions submit under an umbrella body which is mandated to guide self-regulation.
The committee is mandated with investigating the circumstances under which the controversial cleric Paul Mackenzie lured hundreds to their deaths in the forest. It is expected to come up with recommendations on how to prevent such acts in future, but the churches feel this would amount to regulating religion, a move that they are against.
I wouldn't go for a drastic action because that will be counterproductive. I think at the end of the day, what we are saying as the faiths, we want compliance with the existing law. As NCSK, we believe that if the Societies Act is effectively implemented by the Registrar of Societies, that some of these problems will not even be there.
If we are allowed to be the supervisors of this thing, then we'll be able to catch the culprits before they bring the damage. Not necessarily by them presenting us the papers. Papers will come, but let it not be the qualification. You said well that even politics is a call, and it is true. And we've seen great politicians who never went to school. And I don't want to quote them here because you know them. One from Ukambani, enduring our days. So, and there are those that are really educated and they're doing great jobs. So I pray that we kind of slow that down, but give it back to us.
The religious leaders also want the government to drop its suggestion that religious leaders have a certain level of education before being allowed to serve. Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV.